What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel here and some more SPQR. Today we're taking a look at the Numidian Skirmishers. We picked up a couple of these and some of the other Numidian box sets just to, again, round out our mercenary availabilities and just to mix things up a little bit now and then with some of the forces that we are running. So, as normal, guys, we're going to get this open and sorted out for you guys and then take a look at the contents inside. Alrighty, guys, we are back. We got everything sorted out for you. So we get basically 15 bases, even though we get 12 guys in the set. And so we get a couple different poses here, which is great. I think what do we got? Looks like maybe two or three different poses in here. So that'd be what, three sets of four for the set here. So, and again, everything in the new Warlord resin. So, and they managed to capture some pretty good detail on these. There's pretty simple models overall. Again, they're just basically wearing a tunic, so not much there to essentially be detailed. It's pretty simple. So basically, just the body, the clothes, and then the shields and the weapon. But pretty simple set overall. Looks like we got some flash on that guy. So a little bit of cleanup work is going to be required. But other than that, really no deformities on the models themselves. So pretty simple process. Just get them all tidied up and then give them a good wash and all that, and then they should be ready for priming. We get a couple different designs on the shields here. So a couple of them have javelins on the shield and some do not. So just to flip that around a little bit, again, plenty of the javelins. Again, these guys are super sharp. So if you haven't worked with those yet from Warlord, do be very careful in handling those. You will poke yourself and draw some blood if you're not careful. And then we get our stat card as well. So, why run mercenaries in your list? So again, in a lot of cases, it's just to cover up something that your list is maybe lacking. And then again, these guys being skirmishers, these are pretty much cream of the crop as far as that goes. So not everybody has these elite type skirmishers that, again, are just going to be there to cause a little bit of damage and really annoy the opponent with their javelins, presuming, of course, that you hit with them. So you're going to have to be kind of up close and personal. Javelins only have a 10-inch range in this game. So that being said, these guys will do pretty well, and they do have hit and run as a special rule, although they have a special version of that. So why consider these guys? So they have they're infantry minions, of course, so not heroes or anything like that. They come with a dagger, so they can do a little bit of work in close combat, but that's really not where they're going to shine. They do have the javelins for that ranged ability, and then a small shield. They start off with 12 denarii, but really, if you're running them with just the one javelin, you're not doing it right, because you just won't cause enough damage, I think, for the investment in these guys. So really, you want to just kind of fully kit them out, at least 2 javelins, but ideally probably the 3, which is going to take them up to that 16 points apiece mark, which is going to be a pretty hefty investment if you go for the full unit size of 12. But that being said, if you can align things correctly where you can start close enough to an enemy and maybe get your 2 actions to basically throw javelins 2 times in a row, hopefully with their stats and everything, you can cause some serious damage and put some casualties out so that these guys can earn their pay. And then worst case, if you needed to, they could potentially even charge in at some point and do a little bit of work with their daggers, but that is not their bread and butter. It's not going to last long either if the enemy's going to put some solid swings back at you. Again, 0 armor, so outside of the shield, of course. So the extra javelins here are 2 denarii apiece, and then again, their special rule hit and run, their version of it here. So they do hit and run as normal as described in the rulebook, but when they do it, they double their bravery score when making the required check. So bravery +4. So basically on a 2-up, they'll succeed, which again is phenomenal and adds that little bit of extra difference to other similar units in the game. Stat-wise, they're pretty decent as well. Again, not, I would say, broken by any means. There's no like +3s on here. So like range +3, I think we see those with like the Cretan archers, for example. Those guys are phenomenal at what they do. But you still have the range +2. Again, short range, right? You're gonna the javelin guys are not a long range option, so close enough. They're +2 range, so we should be hitting on 4s, right? Melee, they have that +1 at least, so they're not just completely useless. But those daggers will hurt you. There they have the 1 melee die, Agility's +1. Would have been nice to maybe see them have like agility +2 just to get around if there's like more terrain heavy areas and things like that with some elevations. Again, pretty good bravery to start with, and then if you're doing the hit and run, they can exceed there. They do have that small shield, but again, essentially consider them to not really have much in the way of armor, right? And then the 1 wound, as we might expect from basically basic models, right? So a good option for skirmishers if you feel you want that in your army, and something that might also just distract the opponents. They might overly commit to taking these guys on, and basically they can, again, really play up the hit and run thing and just be annoying or a distraction while your main units do their thing, so that do the heavy lifting. But we shouldn't discount the javelin in the game either if used correctly, and these guys can definitely do that, just because the javelins have what they call lethal 2, which basically is a -2 to the opponent's save, and I believe also no long range penalty or anything because it's just a 10-inch range. So that +2 means you should be hitting on 4 up, and ideally pushing a negative save or negative modifier on the opponent's save, which can take out some easily take out some lighter armored or even medium armored opponents, but also force some more favorable saves on things that are just much more heavily armored. Now, another option if you want to sort of use these guys for a different purpose, now if the opponent has maybe a hero who they're not properly protecting or is kind of like out and about by themselves, these guys can get into a position to just, maybe even be somewhat like a sacrificial unit and just rain down javelins on a lone hero. They might, put enough hits on there and cause the hero to basically just to fail off all their wounds, and you could go headhunting with against heroes that way too. But ideally, a smart opponent's going to protect their heroes properly, not expose like that. But again, an interesting thing to consider if the situation arises. So overall, good pickup to have. Again, they work with multiple forces, so worth the pickup in my opinion. So check out the Numidians, guys. We're going to have a couple more videos on the other Numidian units and a couple other things that we picked up just to round out some of our existing forces. But make sure you hit that like and subscribe, guys. Also check out the link in the description there if you want to support the channel. Pop over and pick up something from Warlord. Pretty self-explanatory there. So again, hit us up in the comments too with your thoughts on the Numidians, if you've used them or played against them, what your thoughts are, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.